Hi, my name is Nyloc. I am 13 years old and live in a small village up in the northern part of South Sudan. It is my dream to one day become a doctor or at least a nurse. I would like to get a good education and then return to my village and help my people, especially the children of the village. If I could do this, I would be the first female doctor to work in this part of South Sudan. But there are many obstacles on my path. Here in South Sudan, if girls go to school at all, they usually only attend until about grade 3. This is when many girls drop out to help their mothers with home chores. The other big problem has been the civil conflicts that we've had. Not only here in the Upper Nile where we live, but all over South Sudan. I'm only 13, but I tell you, I have seen too much war and fighting. Last year, when the soldiers came through our village, it was not safe. We all ran into the forest to hide. There was no time to pack up food or clothes. We just had to run. When we came back, we found that the soldiers had eaten our food and stolen our things. A few years back, the fighting became so bad that we had to run across the border into Ethiopia. We had to live there for 2 years in a refugee camp before it was safe to come back home. When we did, we had to start all over. My father and brother had to rebuild our home and set up our compound. Since we have returned from the refugee camp, things have been more peaceful, and our school has opened up again. My parents have let me attend, and I am now in grade 4. I really enjoy going to school. I love everything about it. But when school is over and I return home, I still have to do a lot of work to help my parents. Would you like to see some of the things that I do every day? Follow me. Two or 3 times a day, it is my job to go to the water hole to collect water for the family. Fortunately, there is a pretty good water source that is only about 500 meters from our house. We are able to get our water here most of the year before it dries up and we have to walk a lot further. It's hard work, but if I can go at the same time as my friends, it makes the task a lot easier. After we have brought the water home, we often head out to collect firewood. This is a never-ending task. We use firewood to cook our meals, so every day if my family is to eat, I need to bring home firewood. My mother also has me help with food preparation. Our village doesn't have a flour mill, so we need to pound our sorghum by hand so that we can break it up to make it easier to cook. This job is also a lot easier when you can do it with a friend. If we want to make flour, we need to do one more step and grind the grain on the stone grinder. You should try it sometime. But don't get the idea that all we do is work. We also get time to play. I like skipping the best. We also play dodgeball. We wrap things up in a rag and toss it at each other to tag them. Sometimes my father also puts me to work. He will have me take the family cows out to pasture to graze. Cows are very important in our culture, and this is how it's been for centuries. They not only give us all the milk we could ever want, they also act as our family savings. If there is ever any kind of emergency, we can sell a cow and use the money to pay the hospital fees. If a family needs money to send one of their kids to Ethiopia or Juba to go to school, they can sell a cow, if they are lucky enough to have a cow. Cows are also needed to pay the dowry for marriage. The price for a bride here in our village is usually about 25 cows. Without the cows, it is very hard to get married. A couple of years ago, my older sister got married when she was only 15. When she got married, my family got 25 cows. Every time I think about that, I get afraid that the same thing could happen to me. What would happen to my dream of becoming a doctor then? And so, With all of the obstacles before me, I'm not sure that I will ever be able to reach my goals. One thing that gives me hope is Adra. They have started working here in our village. They have started fixing up the schools and training the teachers to help them be better at teaching. Adra has started a club at our school where they are teaching us the rights that we have as citizens. I have learned that kids have the right to food, shelter, and education. We have learned that we have the right to be protected from early marriage. We have the right to speak up about any kind of abuse that we might be facing. We have learned to identify feelings, and that we can talk about feelings. We have learned that it is important for children to feel safe. Many things have really become better at our school since Adra has come.
I really appreciate what Adra has been doing here in our village to promote education. I had to drop out of school myself when I was in grade 1, and I have always been sad that the war destroyed my opportunities. Adra has started parent-teacher groups, and we have community groups where we get together and discuss all the reasons why education is important for our children, including our girls. We have learned about the dangers of early marriage. My husband has also been attending the meetings, and together we have come to the decision that our Nyloc needs to stay in school. All of us, including her brothers, are determined that she reach her goal of one day becoming a doctor. Adra is a big part of our lives now. They are providing scholastic materials, hygiene kits, and sandals. Nyloc loves going to school with her friends and loves learning.
My favorite subjects at school are math and English. When I'm in class, I do my best to focus on what the teacher is saying. I even hush the students around me so I can hear the teacher. I want to always do my best to reach my dream. I want to come back to my village one day as a role model to other young girls. I want them to be able to say, "Look at Nyloc, what she's been able to accomplish." I want to be like her one day. If she can do it, I know that I can do it as well.
Adra believes that every child everywhere should be in school and given opportunities to learn. This is why we cooperate with community leaders and parents to repair damaged schools or build new schools. Adra also builds toilets and hand-washing facilities for better hygiene. Adra provides children with learning materials like books, pens, desks, and supplies. And then, Adra does teacher training in villages where teachers have not had good educational opportunities because of war or other difficulties. Shortly after we visited Nyloc's village to film her story, the coronavirus pandemic caused the local authorities to close her school again. She had to stay home and now spends her day helping her parents. Even for us, living here in a country far away from South Sudan, 2020 has been very different. We have also experienced weeks of not going to school. Maybe at first you liked the idea of no school, but after some time you probably really started missing school and seeing your friends. Imagine what it would be like never going back to school. I am sure many of us have given more thought about the importance of education and what it means for all of us to be with others, to learn from our friends, and to have good, educated teachers, not only computers. The work in South Sudan is continuing because of people like you. The day when school reopens, Nyloc will be one of the first in line to get back to school. I am sure.